Fisting.
Fisting by Jen Genevieve. Oh, dear God.
Also, my allergies are out of control, so I'm going to be extra wheezy and tea kettle-y today.
Stuart loves getting fisted. It brightens up his day. God, this is gonna be good. He loves fist bumping with anyone, even if they're old and gray. Not bad for an old man. Why does he look like Larry David, but happy? Stuart went into town. People seemed a little wary. They knew he'd asked to be fisted, and that was kind of scary. 3 fist bumps.
Nico sent this over. I didn't review it. I apologize in ahead of time.
Stuart bumped into Troy. He was incredibly skilled. He sorted out Stuart's hole when it needed to be filled. You remember? Fist me, Stuart said. There was no hesitation. Troy clenched his hand and smashed it with dedication. This motherfucker's still just trying to not want to die. Troy gave him a good fisting, but Stuart wanted more. He went to the gym. It was big fists galore. One huge bodybuilder with hands as big as your face. Ooh, baby. Stuart said, put your fist right here in this perfect place. The man replied, really? You don't look like you can take it. My fist is so big, I'd probably break it. Oh no. Back home, and Stuart felt sad and glum. He opened up and spoke to his mom. Stuart said, I just want a good fisting. I feel so sad. I don't know if I like where this is about to go. His mom replied, you know who's great at fisting? Your dad. Let me give him a ring. You can see him do his thing. Now I'm having a coughing fit.
I hope you're listening.
God damn it. Stuart left. He wasn't a chump. My fist is ready. I'll take it. He knew where to go for a good fist bump. Ah, that's better. Happy Larry David. Stuart had a problem. It was like an addiction. I just love fisting. He had to fist every day. He just loved the friction. This is so fucked up. I love it. When it comes to fisting, Stuart was a go-getter. High fives are good, but fisting is better.
Yeah, I apologize ahead of time for that, guys. Nico sent that over, and I didn't review the whole thing, but I had to play it. Let me turn that off here. Oh
That's why Zoom scrollers is gonna be so hilarious, because I want to play like this, like gloom and doom, like the world's ending,
right?
And then she's gonna play that.
Yeah, she's you know what she's really good at is finding the most ridiculous videos that are out there, and then she just like piling them up on each other. Here's one that I thought was really, really well done. And you know, it's done. You guys will understand. Let me just not even put any supposition here. Let's just do this. Just take a look at this. This is the Goiba. You guys ready for this?
Meet the Goiba, the smart vacuum that does more than clean. As it glides across your floor, it collects loose change, converts it instantly into digital shekels, and sends the value straight to a secure wallet in Israel. The Goiba, the smart vacuum that refuses to leave money behind. It climbs your couch, dives between cushions, and snatches every stray coin, no matter how deeply it's wedged. It works with credit cards, too.
I used to find stray cards and coins everywhere, under cushions, in the laundry, you name it. We never knew how much was just sitting there. Since we brought Goiba home, it finds every last bit and sends the balance straight to Israel. My husband and I were shocked the first week. Over $1,200 we didn't even realize we had.
The Goiba.
We just lost all our sponsors.
Yeah, you do what you will with that. Oh yeah, you do what you will with that. I thought that was pretty well done.
Our only sponsors is you, so we're all good.
Some people were asking like how the kitten's doing after the shit show nightmare summer we went through that we raised the kittens. I've got one, and I'm just gonna let this play a couple times because Nico did this, and I don't know why I like it so much. But if you want to know how they're doing, let's just watch this. I'm just gonna replay it like over and over and over again. Here.
Good morning, little kitty. You're looking very pretty. Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna watch that again. Yeah.
Good morning, little kitty. You're looking very pretty.
That's how the cats are
But
doing.
who is singing this then?
I don't know. It's some shit she found on TikTok. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
She just does a thing where she just like I don't know. She's really good. She's really good at that stuff. I'm not. Like I like producing like large videos. She likes videos that are less than 6 seconds, and she's really good at it. I want to check this out. There was she found something else on a dating site. I think would be worth taking a look at. Any of you guys out there? Let's take a look at this. I think you might want to get her number. Let's see what happens here. Yeah. So I don't know her name.
I'm excited to find my life partner in crime, not to commit them, just to have some fun. I love to go to the lake and watch people fish. I'm not a fisher myself, but I love the sport. I'm a huge fan of ice skating, men's ice skating only. To be quite frank, I am looking for you to come through the door after your 9 to 5, and we sit down and I cook you a delicious meatloaf. The secret is adding pork. I love myself first and foremost. A lot of weak men have called me aggressive. I tend to disagree. I'm a Virgo woman and need to say this, no Virgo men. I would love a man who is able to look at me and say, God, you're perfect, because I am. I've been in love once.
Because I am.
And the man looked very similar to me. My most prized item is a medal I won for wrestling. I was the only female on the wrestling team. I didn't win state, but I came close to going to state. But Jeannie gave me 3 wishes. I would wish for world peace. Number 2, I would wish for bigger eyebrows. And number 3, I would wish for a larger car. One thing you don't know about me is that I've never voted.
Oh
Man,
yeah.
that list fell off quickly. She's
I
like,
know.
world
Yeah.
peace,
I don't know, man. Nico goes down some rabbit
more leg
holes.
room.
Yeah, she goes down some rabbit holes that are just like so like very extremely dry humor. But I think that was actually somebody off of a dating site. What I wanted to bring up. Oh, by the way, welcome to the Sombrero, guys. It is allegedly October 26th, 2025. It's Rico and I, and Nico's going to join us from the road a little later. I think NDB might stop by, and also Benjamin Balderson, who's in and out of connectivity up in them there mountains. He sometimes broadcasts.
But he's
from
having animal issues right now too.
animal issues, so he may pop by in a little bit. But I wanted to show you guys this because, like, I think this is it right now. This is exactly the alien narrative is finally rolling out, and I actually got this earlier. Here's our favorite clown. Let's go ahead and get this up so you guys can take a look. Because we've all seen it coming from years and years and years, and now it's getting pretty obvious. Let's see, is this the right one? Yeah. All right. So Michio Kaku, our favorite, not favorite. Let me see if I can get this pulled up here so you guys can listen. This is his message.
Right now,
Hold on. Let me get it turned up so you guys all can hear it. Volume all the way up. There we go. All right, here we go.
right now, at this very moment, something extraordinary is happening in our solar system.
Look at that
An
Duper's
object
delight.
from deep interstellar space, designated 3I Atlas, is racing toward the sun at over 200,000 kilometers per hour.
Right.
And in exactly 12 days, on October 29th, it will reach the closest point in its journey, a moment called perihelion.
Shut up.
But here's what keeps Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb awake at night.
I'm sure it does.
This visitor might not leave. New calculations suggest it could use the sun's own gravity to slow down, to trap itself in our cosmic neighborhood permanently. And if that happens, Loeb warns financial markets could crash as humanity confronts a truth we've never faced before. But that's not even the worst part. Recent data reveals something far more unsettling about what this object
Here we
actually
go.
is.
Here it is.
And what it might do when we can't see it behind the sun.
Mr. Duper's
So the
delight.
question becomes, are we witnessing a natural comet or something deliberately designed?
Deliberately designed.
Oh my God, his face
Okay.
is pissing me off.
So, okay, so like I'm gonna play that again a little bit later.
That's a
For
bit
people
quiet.
That didn't see.
I don't know if it's just me.
Is it quiet? Do you want me to play it again? I had it full volume here.
It could just be me.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stop sharing for now because I'm gonna play it again.
It's just me.
Yeah. So the narrative has been going now for a lot of us. It's been going for 20 years, some a lot longer. I mean, all of us watched the interview with Werner von Braun's assistant, and that one popped up in the deep internet way back in like 2005 to 2007 somewhere. It probably was out there a lot earlier, but like until the internet came, you just couldn't find it. And for those of you that I'm sure everyone on here knows the Werner von Braun interview, or his assistant's interview, what she said, and we know what happened on Werner von Braun's tombstone, which was Psalms 19:1, and then his assistant comes out and says, first they're going to do they're going to do terrorism, then they're going to do a whole bunch of crap that just lines up. Then they're going to say there's meteors from space. Then they're going to all this stuff. But finally, the final card, the final one that they're going to bring is a fake alien invasion. It's fake. It's all fucking fake. And so this is where we're at. Okay, so now we have all these sky anomalies, right? And then you have all the Q people who are coming back to the surface now, and they're like, oh, it's a sky event. It's a sky event. Well, yeah, I mean, it's like controlled opposition bouncing off 3 different walls, right? And then here we have this clown who just basically jerks off to math all day long. And we solved this fucking math like years ago. We said, look, you started to make shit up. You were making a lot of sense up to like, up to like an algebraic level. I can see kind of where you're going, but then you're just spinning your math up into the sky and jerking off to it. So now here he is with Duper's Delight. Let me just pull that back up because I want you to see his Duper's Delight. Hold on.
By the way, that's what the infamous Founded Earth Brothers video is named after, the final card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was like 50 episodes ago, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Let's just watch this one more time because I think some people are just rolling in here and I want to show it again. It's only 1:10, but I want you to, when we watch it again, I want you to look at his eyes. Duper's Delight does not lie. This guy is an actor. He acts for an organization. He is not an astrophysicist. He's a fuckwad. So let me back this up. And I want you to watch his face while he tells you this stupid story about something from fucking outer space that doesn't exist. All right, here we go.
Right now, at this very moment, something extraordinary is happening in our solar system. An object from deep interstellar space, designated 3I Atlas, is racing toward the sun at over 200,000 kilometers per hour.
No, it's not.
And in exactly 12 days, on October 29th, it will reach the closest point in its journey, a moment called perihelion. But here's what keeps Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb awake at night.
Look, stop. Now look, he's clearly smiling with his eyes. He's so full of shit and he's reading from a script. And then he drops in, ooh, look at Avi Loeb. It keeps him awake at night. This dude is barely able to read a script without holding a straight face, or has his balls in a vice. Anyway, here we go.
This visitor might not leave. New calculations suggest it could use the sun's own gravity.
Wait, hold on. New calculations suggest. I love that one. New calculations suggest, okay, it could use the sun's own gravity to slow down.
And you can also tell that he knows that a lot of people trust his faith.
I know. But he's just an actor with his balls in a vice, probably getting paid fairly well, but his balls are still in a vice. But he's still laughing with his eyes because he knows it's all bullshit.
To trap itself in our cosmic neighborhood permanently.
Oh my God, shut up.
And if that happens,
Ooh.
Loeb warns financial
Loeb.
markets could crash.
Wait, who's Loeb? Who's Loeb? Who's Avi Loeb? No, hold on, back it up. Who the fuck is Avi Loeb? Who the fuck is Avi Loeb? Anybody in chat?
As humanity confronts
look up Avi Loeb?
financial markets, Loeb warns permanently. And if that happens, itself in our cosmic neighborhood
Fuck
to
this
slow
shit.
down, to trap itself in our cosmic neighborhood permanently.
His name's Avi
And if
Loeb.
that happens,
Loeb
warns financial markets could crash as humanity confronts a truth we've never faced before.
Okay, wait for it. All right. As humanity confronts a truth we've never faced before. This is either so fucking obvious, or they're so fucked, or there's some sort of triple fucking double down on lying about the truth about lying about the truth, because there's no outer space. I mean, there's just no outer space. So what are they saying? What's this guy saying? What is he saying? He's saying to the people that actually still trust this fuckwad, outer space, comet come to sun, 200,000 miles per hour, blah, 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 fucking blah.
But that's not even the worst part. Recent data reveals something far more unsettling about what this...
Far more unsettling. Pay attention to the
And
language.
he's got to bring in a financial scare just in case he hasn't hooked you on some fear.
Yeah, there's a little financial scare in there just because that, but then something far more unsettling while he still sits there with his smiling eyes in Duper's delight. I mean, this cannot be more fucking obvious. Let me just back this up. Fuck this guy.
Something far more unsettling about what this object actually is and what it might do when we can't see it behind the sun.
Ooh, behind the sun. Oh, because it's around the sun. It's away from us because it came in here with gravity. Right? You fucking clown.
So the question becomes, are we witnessing a natural comet or something deliberately designed?
No, we're witnessing a fart out of your ass.
Deliberately designed. Now,
Deliberately designed. Pay attention to the language, right? So there's your guy. Your guy, if you're an astrophysicist, you have the astrophysicist disposition and you're still in that pseudoscience world. That's your God, or the guy that tells you, even though it's the same guy that told you they're off by 1 to the 90th power or some shit, 10 to the 90th power on black or dark matter and everything else. That's the guy that said that same thing, which basically he's admitting to you that he's fucking wrong about everything.
Yeah, how many zeros did he say? Like,
it was unbelievable. It was a huge amount. He was basically admitting to everyone that we don't fucking have any idea what the fuck is going on. But he does it with those little cheesy little smiling eyes, and he's his little Duper's delight, and and that's what we're looking at. So now we've got 2 comets in the sky, and comets that have never been described before. It used to be there was just Halley's Comet. It comes once every 86 years. This was back in Globy days for me, right? And I did see it. And there's things in the sky they're called comets, but they're I think they're electrical phenomenon. I think it's something a part of the display system or something else going on up there that we don't understand. But then suddenly these guys that know all the stuff about space. We didn't see, 2 major comets coming in the same month. I find it very, it's curious, And
I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I've also never seen one go up.
Yeah, there's too much weirdness about all this stuff. And the thing about it is with, when you have, okay, so the whole thing was space. Am I okay? Am I good for a rant tonight?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Am I good for a rant? All right.
Yeah,
So,
our guess is a maybe. So it's a dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. So, why did they have to invent space? Most of the people listening here already understand it. It's just Narnia. It's just fucking Narnia. All right. So when you invert, I'm going to do this for people that are watching it in the future, not for the listeners, because you'll just be bored. But if you have to invert something that's like this around itself, it doesn't only become a circle, it becomes a sphere. It's an inversion. It's an invisible fence. It's an invisible fence in case there's either more land out or there's a barrier or something. We can't find out, right? These guys are the actors. These guys are the figureheads that tell you about the Narnia nonsense that works only on a spherical dipshit model where there's space vacuum and bullshit in outer space. And
watch it. We got Craig in the audience.
Oh, good.
We got to convert.
Good. Oh, we have a converter. Okay, sorry.
A reverter.
When I don't mean I have a bit of a salty mouth. So anyway, so now what you have is you have to establish actors that talk about and reinforce this jerk-off math that goes out into space, that tells you about relativity, that tells you about, the math works up to here, and you have a big enough chalkboard that goes all the way up to the top of the gymnasium. That's where the answer is. Well, all they did was add a bunch of zeros to a bunch of shit so that the average person would get lost in the math. Well, if some of us still do understand math and we retained it, from our lowly non-astro, physicist positions in the world, right? and we caught you. We busted you. All right, astrophysicist, if you're ever out there listening, we busted you. We saw where you took perfectly good, useful math that's useful for building things and useful for measuring things and useful for all sorts of other things. And then you started sprinkling your little pixie dust on top of it to invent your religion to go on top of useful math. And then you kept doing it. You kept doing it. You kept doing it until you had an entire fabric built above useful math that turns into this cloud of mysticism and curvy balls, B-A-A-L, I might want to add to that. But in this mysticism that goes out there that's impossible for anybody to follow on purpose. You did it on purpose. All right? Because you knew nobody was going to follow that. You add one more zero to any number that you ever wanted. Any number. You add more zeros to it, the more the brain shuts down. You're like, I don't even know what 250,000 miles looks like, let alone 250 million. And then you start doing 10 to the you just start do the exponent to that, the human brain shuts down. We caught you fuckers. So this outer space religion, this guy being one of the leads of it, and this other actor from Seattle, who's the big dork guy's name? What the hell's his
Tyson?
name? He's just a fat actor too, but no, who's the tall dorky guy?
And he used to be in some '80s band. That guy.
Yeah, he was in Talking Heads at one point.
Was he?
No, but he looks like David Byrne a little bit. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, he was in a Talking Heads kind of band.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. But all these guys were just lined up as actors and talking heads, figureheads for the religion, right? The same could be said about Scientology. They have figureheads that talk for that religion, which Tom Cruise, if he's still in it or not.
Brian
These
Cox.
guys are the figureheads and talking heads of astrophysics. Astrophysics is no different than Scientology. It's no different than any other bullshit fucking pseudo-religion that exists out there for the sake of narcissists and psychopaths that need to control people. It's no different. These guys just happen to have a cutesy way of going about it. Like, we don't know how gravity works. No, it's just shut up. All right? That's what you want to say to them. Shut up. All your numbers and all your bullshit, we caught you. All right? Your little universe thing. Who knows what's outside of the thing that we live in? I have no idea. But it's not your bullshit Narnia. And this guy releases this thing today. And he's like, I think the human race will be surprised that maybe it's not the comet that we thought it was. I'm paraphrasing here. And he says, maybe it was made, in a sense. That's what he's saying. He says maybe it was intelligently designed. Can anyone say false flag, alien invasion, bullshit narrative, enter Michio Kaku? Can anyone say that? Because that's what he did. That's the landing of the narrative.
Just another new world order, another reason. I said from the get-go that COVID-19 was New World Order with training wheels. Let's see how quickly we can get the entire plane on board with anything.
Yeah.
And it proved to be pretty damn quick. They already had the signs for 6 feet apart printed somewhere. They didn't print that.
Oh, I can talk that one. I
It.
can talk that one to you real quick in short in Cliff Notes. And that's in the New York City. They had those stickers up within a week. All over the subway. There's thousands of subway stations. So somebody ordered those things months before, had them printed. The orders were already in, and those fuckers went out a week into the blah, blah. It was already up, and you're just like, come on, man. I mean, like, there were commercials. There were Volkswagen commercials that had the VW separating itself, representing the 6 feet. That was out in March. I remember seeing it.
Well, yeah. Nissan had them everywhere right away.
It takes months to get
Walmart.
it takes a month to get a commercial produced and get it the way that the corporate wants it or whatever. They had that shit right on time, everything at once. So this is all arriving right on time. This space stuff, and once we've been
sorry, I was just going to say real quick to give the audience just a sense of the kind of time it takes to get like something released, and keep in mind 6 feet apart signs in Walmart and all in Nissan factories. That's a big deal. But press leeway time on a record release, back when you would buy a hard copy, a physical copy of like a CD or an LP, press leeway was 3 months.
3 months at least.
And that's just for a record. like
Yeah, just for a
that's
record.
for the new Chili Peppers record. You know, like
Yeah. And they rolled this thing out very curiously, very quickly. And I think a lot of us that March, we kind of knew, it was like, dude, this is way too fast. Way too fast. And businesses in New York City had gotten notice from somebody, must have been the Chamber of Commerce, like, you guys need to order plexiglass. There were plexiglass things going up fucking right away. And I was you've got to be fucking kidding me. What is this shit? And like, you never seen like the coordination that had happened. And to apply this to, you know, this space narrative, this whole thing that we have been talking about for so many years about they're gonna fake it. And I want to put this out there right now. There's two ways. Okay. A, it's going to be blue beam. It's just going to be completely fraudulent and some sort of holodeck that you don't understand. Or B, it's going to be tech that's always been here that we just never been privy to, and that they introduced to us from offshore or someplace that we can't see, which is outside of, you know, our viewing. Either way, it's not from Narnia, outer space. It's not from fucking Star Wars, Star Trek, spinny water balls in outer space. It's just from in here. But they need you. They need you to believe that you're on a spinny ball, and you got to believe in all these balls that are going around here. It's really funny that they just keep using the word ball. And look what we got here. Oh,
I got him. Don't X him.
Hi, Deej.
What's up,
brother?
boys?
You just you managed to skip my
We're just
rant.
talking about balls.
Always.
Well, now I'm just referencing the conversation with Weiss.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
But we were just talking about the apocalyptic comet. Have you been watching the show, the Michio Kaku thing?
What, a little 3 Atlas?
let's catch DJ up so he's in the context. So this is only a minute long. I'm gonna watch it again, and I think there's some people that just showed up that haven't seen it yet, and I will probably make smarmy comments again as this goes. But it's the words are on the screen, so don't get mad at me if I'm cussing at him. All right, here we go.
Always.
All
It is what it is.
So, here we go. Michio Kaku in all its
Backstage
glory.
on
Look at that splashy galaxy behind there. Yo galaxy with that comet and a galaxy behind me. Here we go. All right, and go.
Right now, at this very moment, something extraordinary is happening in our solar system. An object from deep interstellar space, designated 3I Atlas, is racing toward the sun at over 200,000 kilometers per hour. And in exactly...
Shut up. 200,000. He knows that. Even though he's off by 10 to the millionth, he knows it's 200,000 miles an hour.
12
Yeah, how
days,
are they tracking
on
this
October
thing?
29th, it will reach the closest
He's
point
tracking
in
his
its
own
journey,
butthole.
a moment called perihelion.
Oh yeah.
But here's
hold
what
on.
keeps-
It's a speed trap cop.
Perihelion. The moment we call perihelion, okay, all right, it's a word. And then when he goes, oh, never mind. Sorry.
What keeps Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb awake at night. This visitor...
All right, can somebody look up Avi Loeb, please?
He's the Harvard professor.
Yeah.
Okay, that dude is the biggest tool around. I'm just putting that on record. Avi Loeb,
He
you're
gives
a
it,
fucking
you know,
tool.
the
Might not
Harvard
leave.
stamp of approval that this thing is interstellar object on its way.
He's got the Harvard stamp of approval on his forehead. They've got his balls in a... Never mind. Here we
New
go.
calculations suggest it could use the sun's own gravity to slow down, to trap itself in our cosmic neighborhood permanently. And if that happens, Loeb warns financial markets could crash as humanity confronts a truth we've never faced before. But that's not even the worst part. Recent data reveals something far more unsettling about what this object actually is, and what it might do when we can't see it behind the sun. So the question becomes, are we witnessing a natural comet or something deliberately designed?
Ooh, yeah. Okay,
Globers are
buddy.
freaking out. Like,
All
how exciting for
right.
them, right? The Globers are
Oh
excited.
my God. So yeah, there you go. So basically, figurehead of pseudoscience astrophysics is now saying the comet now is created by something. It has intelligence, or it's of intelligent origin. But if you guys really look back at that video and you actually watch what actually happens within the language, first of all, they splatter the I'm gonna start calling them galaxies, because I'm sick of galaxy. That's too sexy. They're galaxies.
Galaxies.
And this is just the same thing that happens on the nightly news when they splash a globe across there. It's the same, same mysticism. It's the same spell that they put on anybody that believes that bullshit that comes out of mainstream. They do the same thing for him, only it's a galaxy. And he's so special because he's thinking so far out into space. He's not doing anything. He's acting. And he's reading from a script. He's got cords going into his ear. And basically saying, well, preparing them for a comet that might be intelligently designed. It's so asinine. And from my perspective, we've been hearing this bullshit for fucking 25 years. And we're like, would you just get it over with? Get the fake alien invasion over with, or however you're going to present it, and then fuck off, because the joke is over. The joke is over, and we fucking busted you. All right, rant over. You guys take over. Take a break.
And throwing in the financial market is just to make sure that they've grabbed everyone's fear. They might as well say, and it looks like a little, like it's got a little growth of pedophiles floating with it too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just like, this is one of the subjects that like really gets my blood going. And I'm just like when I see something like this, I think it's the British guy that actually irks me the most. Is it Brian Cox? I think.
He's
Brian Cox. And then, honestly, Neil deGrasse Tyson is the one that least bothers me, even though I know he's just an actor and he's just a fat turd. But like Neil deGrasse, even though he knows he's lying, you can see that he's trying to make it funny for himself. When he's talking to Joe Rogan, you can just see that he knows that I gotta fucking tell this lie again. I gotta tell it again. And he's trying to make it funny, and he's trying to make it funny for himself because he can't get out of the agreement that he made. And he's wearing these ties that've got like, space balls and Narnia shit on it.
Yeah.
And then, this guy is still trying to maintain this highness, this royalty of I understand the universe. And I'm just like, dude, he must be the one that's probably like has got his balls most in a vice. I think. I don't know. I've been trying to analyze.
You think he's the most pretentious out of that crew?
No, Brian Cox is the most. But this guy's just trying.
What I can't stand about Neil deGrasse Tyson, like on Rogan, he'll be like, and the thing about going to the grocery store is, wait for it, bagging the groceries. Like he always has that dramatic pause when he's explaining something.
Yeah.
Like he can't wait for Joe Rogan to go, oh yeah, that's so crazy cool.
Yeah, and then Joe Rogan does his little sissy dance, little thing, whatever he does. It's like, oh, I can't believe, And, look, we all know Joe also knows. We know all these guys know. We know every single one of these
I think Joe,
people. They all know. They all know. They're gatekeepers. They all know. And they can't say anything about it. And they're getting fed, their money or whatever it is. I don't know maybe it's worse than that, but these guys all know. Elon Musk knows, if that's actually Elon Musk, whoever the fuck that character is. Every single buddy that's talking about NASA or talking about space or talking about astrophysics, they all know the gig is up. They're just kind of sort of giggling amongst themselves to figure out, how long do we still have to keep doing this? How long do we still have to keep doing this thing to hold up?
As long as they're getting paid for.
Right.
And I know, but they've got to be laughing.
What are you doing, Andrew?
They've got to be giggling to themselves. They've got to be laughing to themselves. It's like, they still pay me to do this? Okay.
Yeah, it's sort of like people to just give you the free lottery numbers. Like, people are still paying for lottery tickets? I just get the numbers? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I haven't been on for a while. I apologize, everyone. But
Hi, Andrew.
Hello.
What's up, Andrew? Hey, we should swap me and Andrew and then put the chat back on.
Well, I'm going to turn on my camera in a moment, only for a very specific reason.
Yeah, you look like you ate the candy on, really? Willy Wonka when you came on.
Yeah, well, just for a split moment I did. I didn't know I had my camera activated.
DJ was suggesting that there's a different format to where we could do that's not it, where we could have the chat back up. Is DJ in the actual back, or is he just a guest link? He should be in the background. DJ,
I just sent everyone the same link.
If you know how to run it, DJ. You're welcome to go back in the background and like set it up so that the chat's back up.
The reason why I got rid of it because it's right over DJ's face right there.
That's okay.
I don't want to detract from the.
Can I take DJ away and then bring Andrew on first?
What do we don't have to take DJ away. What are you trying to
do? Switch roles. There we go.
There you go. There you go. Oh, look at that.
Look at me getting good at what I'm
learning the stuff.
And while we're redecorating, boys, we always have blue with the orange background. Is that the staple here, or do we have a font color change? This is what I do to Mark Sargent backstage, by the way.
Okay, yeah. Why don't you change it, DJ? Make it new. If you're backstage and you know how to do it, just make it new.
I don't know how to do it.
Well, you're gonna like what I'm gonna show you in a moment. It's my.
Maybe we want to be like yellow or orange or.
Oh, that's just the business card font. I've got.
No, I'm talking about the blue. What's with the blue every week?
I'm colorblind. I don't know where the blue is.
Oh, it's behind our names, like Lowry. Blue box.
Either way, is he trying? Andrew, are you trying to share something?
That.
Is he trying to share something?
What? Anyway, not a big deal.
Your name is blue.
Not the letters are white. There's a blue box around our names, all of us.
Oh,
really? It's not. It's showing black on mine.
Really? What's it showing on Lowry's?
It's showing blue on mine. Are we really talking about layouts right now?
Well, you know,
this is backstage talk.
And yes, we are.
You guys talk. I'll play
I didn't even
around.
get to rant about.
Andrew has something he wants to share.
Andrew, you're coming in hot. What's going on?
1 second.
And Rico, you're roboting. Just FYI. I think that's you. Let's see. All right. So. Here we go, guys. The gang's back together tonight, and we're on a pretty hot topic. And I just did a giant alien rant. But we got 4 of the 5 with us tonight. She's out on the road, but I think she's going to jump on from the road and talk to us here in a little bit. But we are talking about the never-ending, upcoming, fake alien sky event that has been talked about since Wernher von Braun's assistant came out and talked about it fucking 35 years ago or whatever it was. Wernher von Braun has it, and I'll just go ahead and find it. I mean, everybody on here knows this one. This is for people watching in the future. Wernher von Braun was the father of the American space program.
Can you pause for just a moment, because I just did something to myself that I have to undo very, very soon.
What? You did what?
Well, Rico told me if I ever did this on live stream, he would discontinue me from the show. So here we go.
What? That sounds like me for sure.
Here's my as well as I could do it. The Braveheart. It's like the closest thing I'm gonna get to Halloween makeup and shit like that. This is not easy to put on. Yeah, and it kind of burns a little tiny bit. I have no idea what the chemicals are in this shit.
That's awesome, dude. Can we just go ahead and make you full screen?
I thought it was an effect.
Go ahead, yeah, I don't care.
Hold on.
I just scrub my face really fucking hard. That's what they say on the directions.
Dude.
This is not AI.
Look, dude. Are you in battle mode tonight?
Battle mode.
Sort of.
I like it. I like it.
I mean, I don't know where it's in the bathroom.
Do you want to do some rants on?
It's really hard to put this shit on properly.
Do you have an alien rant ready to go? Because I just ranted the fuck out of things. So
necessarily, but I will have something coming up in regards to Comet Lemon.
Yeah.
It's on space.com. Comet Lemon. Here, I'll just do it while I'm in face paint.
Well, you're in charge now.
Hey, we got Sarge in the house.
Hey, I'm working on the color thing for you, DJ, but I think
Sarge will let you in.
Sarge knows I always make him redecorate. I'm like, can we do this font? But he's gotten good at it. I don't even have to say anything. He kind of figured it out.
Did that change anything? You know what? I'll play with it before next week, DJ. That's what she said.
It should be just a click and a click, right? It's like you could be blue, you could be black, you could be red, you could be whatever.
So here we go. Yeah, that blue and black. I mean, depends on how hard you're getting punched. But anyways, so see Comet Lemon across paths cross paths with a cosmic serpent tonight. So this is going to be 9 hours ago. It's going to be on the 26th and 27th. I don't know if this is actually happening. Well, let's find out. Comet Lemon will cut through the neck of a cosmic serpent on the night of October 26th when it passes through the stars of the constellation Serpens Caput, ahead of its approach to the sun and in early November. The Wandering, ooh, that's kind of cool. Wandering Comet, C/2025, whatever the fuck this is being called, was discovered on January 3rd earlier this year and has been brightening dramatically over the course of subsequent headlong dive. And it just gets... And there's all these different pictures and bullshit. I'm sharing my screen. It's just not a very long or impressive type of thing. It just sounds like people are just trying to...
Okay, I'm sharing your screen now.
Oh, fuck. Well, okay. Well, anyways, yeah, you just go back to it's like the number one thing on space.com. Comet Lemon with 2 M's. But yeah, so there is some nonsense. And yes, I am wearing face paint right now just to fuck around. Because I haven't been on Foil Sombrero in some time. But either way, I don't dress up for Halloween. But if you guys want to hear my Halloween story, it will blow your fucking mind. But I have to get really fucking high for that.
I got a good Halloween story for you too at some point.
Okay.
My hair was hot pink for you there for a while, buddy.
Yeah, I never saw it, so you owe it again.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, this is my face paint. However,
believe me when I tell you, the wife doesn't care what I do with my hair. Already.
All right. Well. Anyways, I'm gonna stop sharing for now. But yes, for Halloween, I don't dress up anymore. Even though there's a very...
You're dressed up right now, so what was this for? Just to
fuck around.
I was wondering that.
Oh. Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, because Halloween, I mean, if we had... Let's see, Halloween is going to be on Friday. Okay. If it was on a Sunday, I would actually go, like, all out. I would just get my sword and a wig and just go, like, full Braveheart.
I'm going to challenge you to something, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
And DJ too. You guys, I want you. We have 13 minutes till the break. I want you guys to both, just between the two of you, give your takes on what you think the fake alien invasion / Project Blue Dream / whatever the hell this thing is. Because I want to take the second hour. We're going to expand on this.
Yes.
And I want to get your opinions on it. So I'm going to take a break, but I'm going to be listening. Okay, get going.
I don't. Yeah, I'll have to invent something. Only because of the stuff I've heard, so I don't have a definitive way to explain it. I mean, I'm not saying invent like I'm gonna just make it up from nowhere, but not a bunch of nonsense. But I listen to stuff all the time, and I just don't know if I have a definitive answer on it, other than being Braveheart right now.
That's a pretty good answer.
Nice.
Well, I mean. Well, you know what? We're going to pick that up after the break. But I mean, man,
what do you think about aliens?
Show? First of all, we had Benjamin Balderson planned for tonight, and he's having animal issues and I think internet issues. And we have an announcement about DJ and NDB. I saw him in chat, so we can pick that up. You got some competition coming on, Andrew.
Oh yeah. Well, just. Last thing until I go off camera for the moment is that I commend all of the ladies that use makeup, because this took me 30 fucking minutes to do, and it doesn't wipe off very easy. So I have no idea how it's going to work out after that, because it's on pretty thick. It's just costume like makeup, But either way, this is. Yeah,
It looks blotchy. I bet it looks better in person. I bet your green screen or blue screen or whatever it is, I bet it's making it not as clean as it is.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's the same thing. All right, so take over. I'm going on mute.
Okay. So, in the world of Rico, since everybody else is gone, this came up last week, or actually, it was Friday. I was telling. This is kind of a joke. You guys can come back on, but I was telling Crum how people still send me free stuff all the time. Vans has sent me another pair of free shoes. They're constantly sending me free crap. And I haven't been endorsed by them since Warped Tour 7 or 8. So thank you, Vans. I haven't worn white shoes in forever. I don't even know what
those are cool. I like those. Those look good.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, William Wallace. What was was it freedom? I don't know. To victory. That's all that comes to mind when I saw his face. Either that or remember, what was that movie where the kid falls in the toilet, like the airplane toilet, and it's that blue water. It's just stuck on his. I think that was some Malcolm in the Middle, whatever that kid's name was. Frankie Muniz movie. Was it Paul Giamatti that comes out all blue and he couldn't get the paint off? You probably don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't guess so. And those are like my kind of movies too.
Some kids movie where it's just everything's going wrong, you know. But anywho, back to the aliens before the break. I mean, come on. We've been primed and ready for this since birth, since our parents' generation, our parents' generation, talking about the aliens and that they're coming.
From you, DJ, they clearly don't know us talking about the subject.
But if I may, we open up the phones and try to talk a little bit after the whole alien thing, because I have something to discuss on that as well. But then also to hear people's strangest Halloween costumes, because I won a costume contest one time, and it's the only time I've ever done it. So
yeah, we can pop open.
That's a fun idea.
We can do it.
You know what? This isn't my wild Halloween story because that's embarrassing. Short version is I was dressed as a chick and had a blowout in front of the biggest mall in Dallas. And couldn't figure out which.
Was it Breaking Bad? Jesse fell through a porta potty. Okay, see, thank you, Craig.
Oh, that's right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Andrew, what really happened? It sounds like you had maybe threw back a couple and went and fell. You know, did you fall in a porta potty? Let's be real.
No.
And you saw in the mirror, you're like, I look.
It was
amazing.
A contest at a bar across the street from my military base after my 3rd deployment to Iraq, and I just went all out. And I'll if you guys want to hear it, but I'm always curious about how far people are willing to go when it comes to Halloween. And this stream, the next one will be on the 2nd of November, so missing 2 days.
Well, real quick, let me finish that thought. Other than breaking down in Dallas and having to use a woman's bathroom because I was dressed as a chick, that same Halloween, the party I was leaving, my favorite costume is like I walked up to this guy and he's wearing just jeans, some t-shirt or some shoes and a t-shirt. It's just a white t-shirt that says Peter Peter on it. And his wife is dressed as a huge pumpkin. Nope, no one get it.
Nope, I'm lost on that one. All right, so anyways,
Andrew,
I gotta.
You're not even going to try to think about it.
Wait, what was it? Say it again. Sorry, Rico.
Okay, his wife is dressed as a huge pumpkin, like a very elaborate pumpkin, and the husband just has a T-shirt that says Peter Peter on it.
And
Peter Peter Pumpkin Eater.
Oh my God, this is a dad joke.
Yeah, it's a dad joke, dude.
I don't know. I'm not good with dad jokes, but
okay. I don't know if it's my signal or your guys. There's a little bit of roboting going on, but I can always tell that when we're over the target that streams get disrupted. a little bit. I hope most of you listening out there heard a lot of that. It just sounded like garbled stuff to me. But if you guys can hear each other, it might just be my signal. But if you're just tuning in, tonight's show is about what we've always been talking about for years and years and years, which is the final card. The Founded Earth Brothers have talked about it a lot. And it kind of smells like the narrative's getting a little too stinky about these comets and what they're trying to lay down and say, well, this could be not a comet but something else. And that's coming out of Michio Kaku. We just played that video a whole bunch. And you guys want to open up the panel maybe in the second hour? I'm going to talk a little about the record for the first few minutes, and then I'm happy to open the panel and get some takes on this, because I think it's the appropriate time to start talking about it, because we've all been talking about it for years, but we really just don't like hammer on it in one single episode. And if you guys have some funny ass Halloween costumes, sure, but
I'm already fucking doing it. Way ahead.
I love it, dude. It's fucking awesome.
So as far as the final card, this should be the final card before what, Aliens in her story?
No, Aliens was the final card, and I'm gonna share.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's going to be how they use the same type of convincing evidence, evidence, quote unquote, for religion.
No, I'm talking about von Braun's.
We're just talking von Braun's assistant and
gotcha.
What she, basically said. For those of you guys, most of you already know this stuff. This is Werner von Braun's headstone. This was one of the big clues. Which was discussed, and it was basically like the suggestion was this was him, an admission from the grave. He put Psalms 19.1, which is the Bible verse that describes the firmament, and you can go there and see it. A lot of people have gone there. This is also the father of our modern quote unquote rocketry program, and it was his assistant. And if I don't know, Andrew, if you want to dig up that interview, if you can find it somewhere, it'd be really good to show that in the second hour. It's not very long.
Interview?
The one that's It's the bedside interview. She's got silver white hair, and she goes through the whole progress of what actually happened. And she was exactly right. She says first it'll be terrorists, then it'll be meteorites, and blah blah blah. And the final card will be aliens from outer space, and it will all be a lie.
Yeah, that one I can't do because I don't know if I've heard it.
It's the first thing that'll come up. I'll look for it in the break. Yeah. But if someone else can find it, whatever. Everyone that's already listening live knows this one. But for future viewers of this show, basically it was like her last call. She was tasked to say this in an interview from Werner von Braun, allegedly. Okay, so all we're doing right now is putting together the pieces of a German who came over and fathered a fake rocket program to further a propaganda program, to further develop the conditioning that we live on a ball and that there is outer space Narnia. And all these people are there. Even she, I don't think she could live with herself. I think she did the interview, and this is my personal opinion. I think she did the interview to get rid of her guilt, and also because Werner asked her to do it. And there's so many of these other ones. There's the guy, the grandson or the son of the guy that worked at the site out in New Mexico where they filmed everything, and that one was also very compelling, and it checked a lot of boxes. They faked it. They faked it all to support the heliocentric model. It was all film to fake and to support the heliocentric model. It was all that way. Every single thing. And from then on out, every single sci-fi movie, they even called it science fiction. They called it that so that they could punch you in the face why they lied to you. And you had Star Wars, you had Star Trek, you had every single thing, and then you had globes in the news. You had globes everywhere, globe reinforcement here and there. No matter where you looked, you'd see a fucking globe. Everywhere you looked. And walking yourself out of that spell. Sorry, I was ranting.
Well, no, I got a question for you. Was Jack Parsons before or after Werner von Braun?
They were all in bed together. Walt Disney, Jack Parsons.
Okay, so it was the same time.
All of them formed this religion at the same time, and they all had a lot of power. Jack Parsons
they were connected to Thelema, which was Aleister Crowley.
Yes, they're all the same ilk. It's the same religion all bound together. It's like some Lord of the Rings shit based in outer space. They all they built a religion, and then they reinforced it with film. They reinforced it by digging it into the education system, starting, I guess it was Rockefeller who was initiating all the books that they were sending out to schools for cheap, as long as they bought their books. And they pushed the heliocentric model. There's the Jesuit priest. I can't remember his name. Big Bang guy. I'm sure the chat will have that one. That's where we're at. And we're at the peaking point now. We're at that space in time now where they want to see this thing through to the end. Here's proof. Something from outer space. Something from a violation of the second law of thermodynamics sky. Vacuum sky. Bullshit. All right? They're pushing it all the way to the end. I don't know if their script is running short, they're running out of time, or what's happening, but it's so fucking obvious to so many people that the only thing I think, like in the second hour, we're going to go to break here in a second. The second hour, we're going to talk about like the 2 different ways, 3 different ways, 4 different ways they could fake this and scare the holy shit out of people that have never explored this topic at all. I think Blue Beam is one of them, but I think the tech's already here. It could be an actual thing that's up there, but it's just offshore. It's something that we've had that we haven't been able to see because we don't see all the land, because they also edit cartography. They edit maps. We don't know what the fuck is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and 99.999% of all the people here, even listening or anybody else, don't even go out there to find out if there's more land or if there's anything else, if there's more land outside or anything else. So I am really ranty tonight, and I knew I was going to be a little salty. So let's take a break and keep those things on your mind. And
we've also been at it a couple hours before they saw us go live. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's break time, guys.
It's break time, and then we'll put the link in the texter, in the chatter, and we'll get as many people up as we can. Let's do this. Sorry, guys, I'm just kind of working there. Here we go.
Oh, Jefferson Epstein's in chat. I knew you were alive, dude. I knew it.
All right, we'll see you guys here in a bit.
The Flat Earth Sun, Moon and Zodiac Clock app. Frequently asked questions. More resources. Books divided into your favorite categories. Shopping for that perfect flat earth item. Homeschool section. Featured content creators. Biblical cosmology. Old world research. Video search feature. Games. The Meetup Maker will help you find your local tribe. Matchmaker, to help you find that special someone. Search your selected radius and say hello. Image search for those key images at your fingertips. Enjoy our chat section. Selected new background in our settings area. Time lapse, zodiac, and time zones. The Friend Finder helps you see where all the cool people are hanging. Use your referral code and earn points and Dome cryptocurrency. Beat the Google censorship and get your Flat Earth Clock app today at flatearthdave.com.
Let's not talk like that. Let's not talk like that. We don't wanna end up like where our parents are at.
So I've had a lot of questions come up on on this, so I'm going to just cover it real quick before we get back to aliens and false flag, false flaggy things. So the new record is out now. It's on all streaming sites. It's everywhere out there. However, what I'm trying to tell people moving forward with this is that there's a much better deal, and you can own the songs, you can own the high fidelity versions, and then also there's something I'm putting out basically to you guys. It's not going out to the broader audience, which is like, I'd rather you guys own it and own all the songs that I've ever done. And they're all high fidelity, they're high wave files, and you can get them for whatever you desire. And I'm going to pull it up here just so you know. So the link is in the description below. And let me just get this here. Let's see where we at. And I had all this stuff planned. And then, where are you? Oh, here we go. All right, so I'm going to share this. So when you go to the link below, it's going to bring you to this page here. This is my label in New York City. The New York Years is the digital box set of 20 years of my music. You can go through one by one. Awful Joy is my first record. You go down through here. Live in Atlanta was something we did right after that when we were on tour. Love is Dead's the second production record, and you go on down here. Live at Rockwood was another live show we did in New York City. Emporia was this giant production. That's, if there was such a thing as a magnum opus, that record, I mean, the production was absolutely gigantic. We had an orchestra, we had a lot, but I'm also super proud of it. But that would be like the biggest record I ever did. And then Night Movies at Beach 97, somewhere around in this little period here between Emporia and Night Movies, which is down here, is when my cosmology got turned upside down. And you can hear some of me singing about some of these songs back up in here. I always sang about reality, and I always, did character studies and everything else, but you can start to feel it come in the music. And I don't sing about flat earth songs on the nose, like say Alex Michael, but it's in there. And then Night Movies came, and I was fully immersed in this brand new way to look at the world. And you can hear it in there. It's not on the nose. And it was kind of a love letter. And that's what that video was that you saw before that. It's a love letter to Fiona Epsilon. But here's the thing. When you go into here and you go into this page at the link, you can go buy digital album. This is why this is better. You can get it on your Spotify's or everything else, but if you want to own it and you want the high fidelity and want to have it on your own machine, you can click this and it gives you a box. It recommends $50. That gets you all 60 published songs. And you don't have to pay $50 if you don't have it. That's just recommended. You can put whatever number you want right here, and you can own all of them. And I don't think I was very clear about that from before, because I don't deal in this side of the label does all this stuff. So I never deal with this stuff, but I figured I'd give you guys a quick tutorial on that. And once that page comes up, you pay whatever you want right there, and you get 60 songs from the 20 years of my musical career. So let's just we're done with that. I'm not a very good self-promoter. I can't stand doing it. But there was a lot of people asking me what's going on with this exactly. So I wanted to describe that to you and do that. So, yeah, self-promotion.
Hey, Titus, the track that you first heard is on that box set.
Yeah, and I'll play another one that was on the everything that you see in my videos are within those 60 songs, and man, I just want you guys to have it, and I want you do you have it on your machine? I want you to have it in your machine, high fidelity. Yes, you can go if you're on Spotify, if you do those other things, they're out there too. But I'd rather, especially talking to you guys and in our little community, I'd rather you guys have it and have it for yourself and have it for the full experience. And yeah, so there's my shameless self-promotion. Can you guys get back up here so I don't have to do this bullshit anymore?
Well, I was just letting you do your thing.
No, that's it.
I was going to say that he hates self-promotion, and I want you guys to know, as far as the Sombrero is concerned, it's me that's been pushing, changing up his tracks and picking like Whiskey or Waves and Tides. That's me asking him every week, hey, do you mind if I play this? Do you mind if I play that? So it's not like he's like shoving it down your throat. That's me, like 100%. I mean, he's not against it by any means, I don't think, but that's me. That's I'm just stoked to actually be a fan of one of my co-hosts' music projects and not have to fake it and be supportive. Well, I've been in situations where I've had to support stuff that I'm not fully behind. And
yeah.
It's just nice. It's nice to not have to like fake the funk.
What's weird, what's weird is to watch when you go through Emporia leading up to night movies. You have Waves and Tides, and there's a bunch of songs that are very natural. They're very elemental songs, but I wasn't like, it was 2015, when the whole thing happened. And you can kind of watch, the way I do lyrics into night movies, and you can see that something's activating in that whole thing. And also, for those of you that don't know, the lead off song on that is also the closing song on Strange World with Mark Sargent. So Mars is the first song on the new record, and then as you listen through the record, there's love stories in there. There's all sorts of stuff. I mean,
I thought Mars was about that book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
I mean, it could have been, but no, it wasn't. It was about that shithead fucking Hoagland is what it was. I don't mean to call him a shithead. He's just a shill. The guy that talks about Mars all the time. So like that song
the new
is
music's
directly
great.
about him. But sorry, DJ.
The new music is great. Sounds good. And of course, we love Mars. You captured lightning in a bottle with that one. I don't know how it never gets old. It's so crazy. Although when I am drumming and I'm like drumming at the end of each show, and I'm like, oh my god, this song has another. It's gonna go up a key change. It's gonna do the key change, and then I know we're coming down home stretch. So
it's fun to play live too, because it's like a real rocker. I couldn't decide like if we should open or close with it, because it closes Strange World, but that blah blah blah, I know, like it's just such a nice way to go. Hey, we just started our set,
Yeah.
Okay. So I do have one thing I want to share with everyone here.
Sure.
Because back when I had hand surgery.
Wait, what about what's in the private chat? The actual footage of you today? Did you see that link?
No.
Go to private chat and share that.
No, I'm live right now.
You got it, Lowry?
What am I doing?
I
Go
have
to private chat.
Private chat. There's a link.
Just fuck around.
Somebody caught Andrew getting ready for today.
All right, hold on.
I don't.
got you. I got you.
I mean, I don't care.
Andrew,
I wouldn't go live on camera if I wasn't.
Throw another one back, bro.
I bet
I think it's fucking awesome, dude. I wish you would do it every night.
Well,
That's
maybe.
so tough. To victory.
Oh, I'll get my
I
sword.
know.
Where's my fucking sword?
Sword.
No, actually, I made a
Mahoney.
sword.
Hold on a second.
Can you play the link?
I'm
Or you
trying
don't?
to. Yeah,
Yes. Hold on.
I'm doing. Hold on, guys.
I'm gonna show you guys.
No,
I'm getting my
I'm going to show
Slurpee
you
on.
something, Andrew. I'm going to show you
Uh-oh.
something.
Come on. Oh, that dude. Oh my God!
I love
He's
Paul
a great
Giamatti.
by the way.
Dude, that movie
Swapped out your
Sideways. My ex-guitarist's mom was like, "There's a movie Sideways. There's a character that reminds me of you," and I totally thought she was talking about the cool guy. No, she was talking about Paul Giamatti's character. I was like, "Oh, come on, I'm not that sad."
I'm trying to remember what happened there. Was that like a urinal puck? That's something he was like, did he bathe in urinal
I don't
puck?
think I've seen it.
Somebody
Okay.
swapped
I
out your
love
soap. Who swapped out your soap? Poor Andrew.
I love Paul Giamatti though. He's such a great actor.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is. Very great comedian. And yeah. Anyways, when it comes to what is going to be shown in just a moment, I'm going to show this because when I had hand surgery, I learned a lot about card tricks and manipulation and different things, and then it just goes into a spiraling type of a learning experience.
Okay.
And I have this forwarded to a certain point. This is Jason Ladani, and he is one of maybe potentially the best card magician mechanic that exists. He can do things with cards you just wouldn't understand. And he actually does show you how to do this. Is an actual explanation as to how he does one of the tricks. And I do this for my classes. And I actually have my third version of it coming up pretty soon. So the reason I'm showing this is not because like card magic is everything that exists. No. It's about manipulation and confusion.
Which could relate to our alien card
Well,
conversation.
actually, it is abstractly related. So
Yeah. Yep.
that it's associated. So here you go, and anyone can do this. It's actually really, really freaking easy to do. But here you go.
Those guys will constantly fool me, and I love it. That's my inner circle. Those are the guys that I share all my ideas with.
Is there somebody that you would say that magicians as a
playing
whole,
that,
right?
Andrew?
You know, the LeBron, Michael Jordan conversation that would say that's the best.
Well, me, obviously.
Besides yourself, somebody that people would look at and be like, you know,
there are a few names in our industry: Mario Lopez and Danny D'Ortiz, fantastic performers that are constantly wrecking everybody's brains, and me included. Sometimes I see things that those guys do, and I'm just like, I don't know what he's doing.
it's got to be tough then, right, to fool somebody. I know we're kind of running short on time. Could you show us a couple of things?
Very, very quick. I'll fool you with it, and then I'll run through it a second time and teach you what I did, so that if your listeners, you have a mixed audience of people that listen.
Yeah, listeners and audio, audio, video.
Give the cards a couple shuffles, and what's going to happen is I'll have you select a card. You've heard that line, pick a card before, correct?
Yep.
So if you were here, you could take any card you want, but since you're not, I'll just run my finger like this and just say stop whenever you want.
I'll say stop right there, about 2/3 through the deck.
All right,
that
now
one.
we stopped at a few, so 1, 2, or 3. Just so we're clear, it's not. I didn't make you pick a card. You want this one, or this one? 1, 2, or 3.
The 1, 2. Oh shoot, it's that one. 1.
This.
Yep.
All right. So the whole point is, I couldn't have known ahead of time that you were going to select this card. So if, again, because of Zoom, I know what the card is. If you were here, you could just look at it and remember without showing me. But the whole point is, it doesn't matter if I know what it is. It's that we don't know where it is. We'll place that card on top and give the card a cut like this. So it's buried somewhere in the middle of the deck. Now, if you were here, you could cut the cards. So where would you like to cut? Near the top, middle, or bottom?
Let's cut 2/3 of the way through the deck. And
So
can I
deeper.
tell?
Look how deep that cut is. All right. Now I'd have you cut the cards again. Where do you want me to cut the cards now? Top, middle, or bottom?
Let's do towards the top.
So look at this, just a few cards. So see, every single time you cut it would change. Now, if we were at a big table here with other people, which is where I perform, which I prefer to perform with a big group of people, I'd hand the cards to somebody else and they would cut. There's no trickery. Even though I'm cutting the cards here, this would be other people cutting the cards. And at this point, how many times do you think that this deck has been cut? And you can see it's all different places every time. Of course, sometimes near the top, sometimes near the middle, and sometimes near the bottom. Look at that. How many times you can keep cut these?
Oh, at least half a dozen, probably.
By the way, I am showing
more
this
than
for a
that.
very
More,
specific
close to
reason.
20 probably.
Yeah,
you
we're
can
getting
tell
up there.
the cards are really being mixed, so I can show you this way. Look what's on top, a 4. And if I cut the cards like this, you can see now it's a queen. You can see that the cuts are genuine. As a matter of fact, to prove that the cuts are real, you can face up. Now, let's have you do it a few times. Go back to you one more time, just to prove it's real. Where do you want me to cut? Top, middle, or bottom?
Let's do the middle. Middle, and then let's go to let's do the middle again, actually.
Oh, we keep getting that king. Let's cut to someplace else. A different king. Where else? Keep going.
My trick
Let's
doesn't
go to
work
the
that
top.
way.
Keep going. You tell me.
Let's go all the way to the bottom. What's the second to the last card?
Second to last? The 6 of spades, right? So the whole point, how many times do you think, now that we're done, how many times do you think in total we've cut these cards?
Oh, more than 20.
Way more than 20. Is there any person on the planet that could say where that card is right now? Your original card, the 3 of diamonds.
I would say that it's probably going to be you, but nobody should be able to
It's
figure it
him.
out.
Nobody can do it. But if anybody could, it would be me. Now, at this point, we have finished cutting, and it's the 8 of hearts that we stopped at, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times you cut, but we stopped at an 8. And if we had kept going, it would have been a different number. If we did less, it would have been a different number. But ultimately, I asked you, is it okay to stop here? You said yes. 8 of hearts. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 8th card, which happens to be your.
You gotta be kidding me.
This is actually really easy to do. So,
Okay, so that's the card trick that I was showing to you guys, and it's extraordinarily easy. He goes over up the next 5 or 6 minutes on how to do it, but that doesn't really matter. It's the fact that some people can be shown something and then from there believe it simply because they were there to witness it.
Yes, I think I see I don't want to say metaphorical approach. I'm trying to draw a tangent to the deception, right? So every deception has a misdirection, all right? And all these card players, they know this. They know what it is. The misdirection is so nuanced that you're following it with your eyes. They call it, they used to call it sigil magic, or as if you're an addictive gambler, things that move in front of your eyes tend to take up your whole concentration, and you don't even realize that somebody's pulling a wallet out of your, out of your ass while you're looking at moving things. I want to speak to that, Andrew. So, the big show, the big theater, the Wizard of Oz of all of this, call it the grand deception, right? Man behind the curtain, whatever. It's always deception. That's biblical. That's way back. That is the where the yin meets the yang, right? And if you don't give yourself a chance to at least take a look at how these tricks work, you don't give yourself a chance to demystify it and also walk yourself out of the spell, which is like outer space is a spell. It's been built up now for, since who was one of the first authors that started introducing, who was the guy that did, H.G. Wells, but there was the guy that did
Orson Welles?
iRobot. A lot of these guys, they were all in the same group. All right. So all of these guys were inventing a religion based on a spherical outbound inversion. All right. So like the easiest way to put it is if you want to firstly, again, this is for people, not everyone here. Everyone here already knows this one. This is for future viewers. Is that You know, if you want to invert something, first of all, you just curve it and then you round it. All right, that's an inversion. That's what an inversion is. It's just like in modern media, whatever the actual truth is, tell the opposite. Or if the media is telling you to do something, do the opposite of that. That is absolute inversion. That's yin and yang. That's exactly how deception works, and it's exactly how the machine works. And they spin it up in a lot of different ways. They tell a lot of stories. They cloud stories. They muddy the waters. They do this and that. But in general, it's the same thing every time. So
Alex, you are monologuing a little bit.
Well, monologuing because we have an alien invasion coming up, and we need to get people to understand what's happening.
They used to call.
I like
Star
Lowry's
Wars-
monologues.
You know,
I
they
don't
used
mind.
to call Star Wars and that kind of thing space westerns, right?
I gotta wash my face off.
Like
Wait,
basically
Andrew, we found more
westerns with
footage of you.
space-
Go, Alex. Go back to the private chat. We have another secret cam.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
Am I on
Andrew.
mute right now?
Never mind. I'm not gonna wash it off.
Can you guys hear me?
Don't you dare watch that off, Andrew. You're going to keep that on for the rest of the night, dude. That you made my whole night. That's so awesome.
Fucking Braveheart.
Yeah, dude.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. What's
Yes,
up,
we can hear
Rico?
you. Yes, sir.
I was
This
just
is the
gonna
show where
say
everyone
that-
talks over each other. That's all there is.
I was just making sure. Well, I was roboting earlier.
Andrew,
But I was
I
saying
applaud.
they used to call Star Wars and that kind of thing just space westerns, which is like a western movie set to a space background. Like it was really lazy in the beginning. Philip K. Dick went on and on about the way that was formulated.
Yeah, and let's watch this real fast, and then I want to speak to that. Please put a pin in that, Rico, because I want to speak to that. This was, let's just check, see what do we got here. Hold on, yeah.
Yeah, see, my half as good as that.
You could ride a horse.
We will run.
Please tell me you're wearing a
And we will
skirt.
live. Aye. Fight and you may die. Run and you'll live. At least a while.
Oh, it didn't go down my neck either.
And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Our freedom!
You did that well.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, but I was gonna say, like so this all ties together, whether you guys like it or not. When your makeup. Oh, look who we have here. Let's see if he's got something.
I like
to
what
add
Liz
to it.
just said. That's funny.
Yeah.
I know. She knows.
So
Hey, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
What's up, guys?
We're talking about the false flag alien invasion, and now the narrative has been set, and now it's in motion. And we've shown Michio Kaku talking about what now this comet is man-made or not man-made, but it's intelligently designed. It's not a comet anymore. And what we're basically doing is now I want to pin back to you, Rico, which you just said right before we played that video. What was it, Rico? Remember?
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
Hold on. No.
Is it official that they're saying it's alien life? Is that true?
Michio Kaku said it.
Oh my god! Yeah, they're not going to make
Well,
these
it's gotta
guys
be
look like
true.
idiots, right? I mean, what are they going to walk it back if nothing happens, or are they?
No,
really
but
going
Rico
to?
had a point, and I want to get back to that pin. Rico, say what you said before we did that video.
I said that the earlier space movies like Star Wars and anything like that, even like Tron, they called it space westerns. And Philip K. Dick just said it was really lazy. Philip K. Dick is the guy that did Scanner Darkly, and he kind of did the Matrix, basically. But it wasn't the Matrix, but he kind of came up with that whole concept. And he said in the beginning it was just lazy. They just basically took westerns and copy pasted it on top of space instead.
And I remember why I wanted you to say that. And the reason I wanted you to say that, and I'm going to monologue again, Andrew, because tonight I had enough time finally after 5 months that I could put together an actual show and put my thoughts together on this. This is one of my most passionate topics, which is space Narnia, which is bullshit. and how they fucked it up, but they tried their best. Hollywood tried their best to reinforce globularism and or Space Narnia, Spaceballs, Disneyland Spaceballs, and they did a kind of a shitty job up through Buck Rogers. A lot of it was just garbage. And then you have George Lucas, who comes out and just blows everyone's mind. And it was still a shitty space western, right? And they're all out there in Hollywood. They're like, shit, we might have something here. We might have something here.
He's here at the moment, so can we at least give him the
yes
for the time being?
Can you not interrupt?
Yeah, buddy. I was talking about space westerns.
Interrupt for a reason.
No, it's so true. I mean, I remember hearing Lucas say that too. It's like they took the formula that works and just created the new genre around it. But it's all like they're all in on pushing the agenda, right? That's where you kind of get it's a little bit creepy how far and wide it can go.
Well, how far they went. I mean, they took it all the way out of the 70s into the 80s, and then suddenly space was the leading, as far as like the leading box office crusher. Was all space propaganda, putting the heliocentric model back into everything, and not even to mention like television series where they drop globes and everything, and it's just constant reinforcement of the heliocentric model. That is inversion. It's very important, guys, to understand this thing. They inverted the entire thing to not only set up a false fence, whether there's land out there or not, we have no idea. They did that. That is the deception. And outside of that, it's your spiritual journey, man. Whatever you think it is, whatever God or thing you're chasing after. I'm not a godless person. I certainly believe there's source. But like that is how you wrap someone's mind in a plastic bag and trap it. The Globe did that, and space science fiction did that shit. And now they're in full throttle mode with all their talking heads talking about fucking things coming from Narnia and from outer space. Traveling at fucking impossible speeds without even any way to push off of the fucking space vacuum that's a violation of the second law of thermodynamics in a sky vacuum. And now here we are. And now this is the time to talk about it because it's here now. And so like it's going to be fun to watch these clowns who already knew years ago, these gatekeepers, all of them, and even the people on the podcast, they all know what the fuck is going on. They know it's flat. They know there's more land, or they know at least that there's something outside there. They don't know anything more than that, but they're just like, well, I guess, do we milk this? Do we milk it more? Do we just keep, like, as long as people are still stupid enough to listen to this Disneyland bullshit, do we just keep going? Because Elon, whether that's even Elon or it's a character of Elon, he knows. Joe Rogan knows. All these people that get all these big time hits on YouTube, they all fucking know. They know 1,000,000% what it is. They're clowning everybody else for the last nickel they can get out of it. That's it. End of my rant. You guys go.
Okay. Well, in proper time, there's two things that. Oh man, dude, I was just kidding. Whenever I yelled at you, buddy. In proper time, Ben had some animal issues going on. But also, we want
winter hit us early.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah, it's this. We aren't supposed to get weather like this for another month, and it's just been piss hammering us. It's just causing all kinds of problems. We weren't ready for that.
Where are you at?
Well, we kind of had like a backup stream ready, and we were in the middle of it. Dude, I hope Andrew didn't go away.
Yeah, nice to see you, Ben. Serious. Welcome.
Welcome, Ben.
It's good to see you.
But before we go into Ben, I do want to promote that NDB and DJ have a BST trivia that's going to follow up Sombrero every Sunday, and we'll start promoting that. He said he put a link in chat. And Ben, Andrew was coming from a good place with that. Like, we're glad you're here, but I wasn't going to like stop his, Lowry's train of thought, because you popped in.
Yeah.
If Andrew went away mad, I'm going to be so disappointed. He's so much.
I get it. I appreciate what he was saying. Like the whole special guest thing. But at the same time, I popped in the middle of Lowry going off. It's it's not like I'm particularly special. Let the man finish speaking.
No, you're good. You're good, man. We're
happy to have you on. What are you talking about, Ben? You and your potion.
Oh, well, I've been trying to get you on forever. Like, someone give me his link or his number, and I finally found you. Finally got a reaction from you on Instagram Messenger, and you actually replied a year almost to the day of you saying yes to coming on the show at Flattoberfest last year.
Yeah. That's I just saw him come up in my feeds also. Yeah, I've been the last year or two. I've been wicked busy. I haven't hardly been on any shows. It's just been there was a couple years, but this was the whole thing that happened. Like when I had a different farm, and then I threw that whole big event, and everybody helped me move over here. But at the end of the day, setting up an off-grid farm is not easy in any way. When I got here, there's no water, there's no power, there's like right now I live off wood heat, so we're a month early, so the what definitely weren't ready for that. Definitely didn't have the animals set up yet.
Well, what's going on like lately? Let's go to the present. Let's Marcus Aurelius this thing to the present. I've always wanted to ask you this: what's the difference between alchemy and chemistry? Or is there a difference? Is it semantic?
Chemistry doesn't take the life component of things into account. So one of the things that I do when I'm doing alchemy is, and this is what taught me this a lot, was I flash freeze my items. Well, when we're talking about plants, that's the easiest thing to talk about. Obviously, it doesn't matter with metals and minerals, but with plants, when I pick them, so say you go and get some lavender. The traditional method of extracting and making the stone of lavender out of it would include you drying the plant, letting all the water out of it, hopefully in a cool, humid condition. And then eventually, you would use some, whether it's with hot water, whether it's with a solvent, like alcohol or butane or something like that. You would use that to pull the oil from the plant, and then you would burn the plant material down and leach the salt out of that burnt material, and then put the oil and the salt back together. Now, where I started really noticing a difference, because I do a lot of the work, where I really started noticing is the older the plant material it was, the darker the oil was by far. Like it if you get it right when it's fresh, it's a very nice yellow. It's a very nice bright yellow. And then if you wait a month, it starts moving down and it turns into like a golden, and then it starts turning a reddish purplish and then a black. And the product you're making with it loses its efficacy substantially when you're doing this. So one of the things that I'm able to do that they weren't was flash freeze things. So if I take a plant while it's still alive and I flash freeze it and then do the extraction, well, when you flash freeze it, what you're doing is freezing the water and freezing the fats, freezing everything. So then what you need to do is pick a solvent that will deal with that is able to not get bound up with the water and is able to bind to the oil and pull it out from this concoction that's frozen shut. And so, which quite a few of your hydrocarbon gases will do that. Like butane's my favorite. Propane's really nice also. I know people would weird out about that because they're used to their stove propane, but that's an additive that's added in there that makes it so nasty. It's actually a very clean gas when it starts out. So that will end up making it so it can pull that out of the trapped frozen material. Well, what I discovered when you're doing that is the life in that it's screaming bright. Like now it's like a neon yellow. And when you're looking at it, it's so much more lively. And when you use the product in and of itself, it's just so much more effective and so much nicer to take. And what you're dealing with in that, the elements are no different. They're the same elements, same constituent parts. But what science isn't taking recognition of is the life force that's been lost in that. And if that life force is still present, you get so much more potency out of everything that you deal with.
Okay, that's
So cool.
That's very interesting because chemistry always to me was this cold, lifeless based, You know, again, they were also operating from a position of an atomist, as it were. So, like, I remember, like, what we used to look at, and they were talking about electron shells and this sort of thing, and this is how this behaves this way and that. I was always so frustrated because they were describing it from an atomist perspective. In other words, electron shells. This the electron drops this is what you get, and you get, you know. But like when I think about it, if an average human being just takes two clear liquids and mixes them together, they can't see what the base mixture is or what it does. What they actually do, or what I think, in my personal opinion, because I found chemistry to be fraudulent, is that they already had a book of mixtures that they knew what would happen. They knew that if something was acidic to a certain point, it would burn. It was useful in conducting electricity. It would do a million things this way. Then they had a book on it. They didn't see electrons dropping electron shells and this sort of thing. It was so frustrating to me. And I think, like,
they don't. Nobody sees an electron.
Nobody does. Nobody does.
When they say electron microscope, what they're doing is firing electrons at something, and then looking at like the negative space created around it. So it has nothing to do with actually being able to see electrons. You can't see electrons. There's an assumption based off of the reactions that this is what's happening.
Yeah, they inferred it in reverse. Is what my whole thing was. And I was like, look, dude, like, we all can't see this. It's just like space too. It's just like we're inferring a bunch of shit. But really, like, in my mind and the way I was looking at it, I was like, it sounds to me as somebody had an old book or somebody was introduced with some knowledge and they said, check this out. Mix these two things together. It's really useful to do this. Or say a car battery. We put this in a certain acidic mixture here. It happens to, I don't know, do a charge. It hurts. It hurts if you touch it. But if it hurts, it means it's doing work. That means it might spin, I don't know, an axle or something, and it might do work, right? And then this is how I've had a really difficult interaction with alchemy and chemistry over my whole life, because it's invisible. It's fucking magic. It's mystical. You know, and nobody that if you take it back and the way you do it, I think you're doing it the right way, is to consider it from a life perspective. In other words, what's useful? If I do this to this certain thing, I know that this thing comes out of this, and I mix that together. It's really useful over here, and there's a lot of positive aspects that come out of this. Or don't fuck with that one, because if you mix that one to that one, you might, burn your face off. You know, like these old stories.
So is this whole flash freezing plant thing, is this in the family of alchemy? Because when I think of alchemy, I think of metals, and then I think of the mental stuff of alchemy. But
so the mental alchemy is a well, it's kind of a misnomer calling it alchemy. So where that comes from is Carl Jung. He was a psychologist, and he had ideas that there was where a lot of this came in was when he was working on what today we would maybe call the zeitgeist, the group mentality that everybody kind of experiences in some way, where all of a sudden tomorrow everybody knows what Haktua means for no fucking reason. Like, even if you don't really spend time on the internet, like there's a public zeitgeist. Well, he couldn't find anything for his ideas for that, or his Dark Night of the Soul, things like that. So he looked at some old alchemy books, and through some of the pictures in those alchemy books, and he talks about this in his red book, through some of the pictures, they inspired him, and he found them representative of the things he was thinking, more so than anything else he'd ever seen. So he did a very base alchemy understanding, looked at some materials, and then off of that very basic understanding modeled his psychology on that. So when they say internal alchemy, what they really mean is psychology, and it's psychology that they like, which isn't to state that there isn't an internal component to it. There absolutely is, but that's a fairly new thing that was developed with Jung. Now when you're looking at metals, like with plants, it's specifically called spagyrics, and you would, as an alchemist, a learning alchemist, you would start with plants, which is why that's what I always talk about. Spagyrics, exactly. You would start with plants, because that's where the rule of as above, so below starts applying.
I was just about to say as above, so below could be mental and, alchemy.
Yep. So what you do is you take these procedures and you learn them down pat. You get the reactions, you understand everything. Then you move yourself over into the metals, into the minerals, and you're going to find that the same procedures and the same reactions are happening. Sure, it's slightly different, but it's the same as if you pick a lock that's a simple lock, and then you eventually move up, you go to a more complicated lock. While the lock is more complicated, it still basically works the same. You still have the same functions, the same way things move. So when you learn it on a lesser level, it makes it so you can actually understand what's going on when you get to these harder levels.
Okay.
That makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah, it
than
really
the
does.
bullshit
It really
that they fed me in high school. I'm just like electron shells and like all these things. I'm like, you just made up a story to teach somebody, almost like they alternately created a way for you to understand it so that only they could understand it, and then you would never understand it. As opposed to just like going out into nature and like saying this works for this thing, we'll test it, we'll see how this does. And then because you can't see electron shells, it's just bullshit. It's atomist bullshit. And then you go even further into that, and then they mix it up and they fog it up and say it's because of this or because of that. But I mean, am I on the right path on this? It's passed on information over the course of generations that if you choose to read the information in a book and say this works or this does, it's like the Farmer's Almanac, right? You're just like, oh. And then do you have to worry about what it looks like at the quote unquote atomic level? Do you really?
No,
you don't.
It's just that unseen thing, and if it moves a certain way, you know that it moves a certain way. That's okay, and then you deal with that. The other thing that they really leave out is in the atomist perspective of things, all elements are exactly the same. So if I derive, let's say, here's an easy one. Citric acid. Citric acid, most people imagine that the citric acid in your food is derived from like a grapefruit or an orange or something like that. And it's not. It's derived from mold because it's the same compound, and it's easier to extract that out of mold and much easier to grow than growing a fruit, which takes almost a whole year. And so in their mind, citric acid is just citric acid, but that's just not true. And that's where one of the problems comes in, one of those unseen things that we don't have a grasp on yet, that where you're deriving your components from absolutely makes a difference. Like even in basic alchemy, one of the first things that you're going to do is, especially most people extract with alcohol. So if you're going to do an extraction, the absolute best alcohol to do it with is you ferment the plant that you're wanting to extract from. You pull the alcohol from that extraction. Then you use that alcohol to extract the oil out of the plant. So the alcohol that is doing the work is derived from the same said plant. Where the second best is you take red wine, organic red wine, and you distill it 7 times. And after 7 times distilled, it's pure enough. Because with a solvent, just like with mixing Kool-Aid, if your solvent only has so much solvency, so you need it to be as empty as possible. You got to imagine that like almost like being full and empty. Like your water is acting as a solvent with Kool-Aid, and you can only dump so much Kool-Aid powder in there before it starts precipitating to the bottom and it won't mix into the solvent anymore. Mm-hmm. So this same thing applies when you're doing your alchemical extractions. You want your solvent to not have other things in it. So you would distill the red wine 7 times. At that point, it's going to be clean enough to do a real nice extraction. Is it as good as it was out of its own alcohol? Absolutely not. And then thirdly, what most people are going to do is just go buy a fucking bottle of Everclear. That's what they're going to do. They aren't even going to piss around. They're going to
septuplet distilled. I almost had triple distilled. Septuplet distilled. You just go buy some rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, and they're just going to put that in a mason jar with their plant material, and then they're going to move on. So
Yeah, I've had Everclear before. Oh my god! Oh my
Yeah, it's tough.
god! I couldn't believe that shot.
Oh, dude, I'm from South
and then the
Dakota.
guy
We sell
afterwards,
that
he
shit in
lights
gas
them on
stations.
fire. Yeah,
We
he
sell
lights
that
it
in
on
the gas
fire.
stations.
You just-
So let me I want to demystify this for like a lot of people that aren't used to talking about chemistry.
This is over my head, by the way.
This is well, it's dude, for me going through it, it was frustrating for me. I was like, okay, this is dumb. You've got this giant map of how you think it works, but you really have what I would call, it's not an elixir, but you have alcohol, which is an agent that doesn't disturb the original thing you want to extract from, say, a plant or say a mineral or say something else. It doesn't hurt what you're extracting, but it's like would you say it's like an oil that gets in there and loosens the thing that you want without disturbing the thing that you want? Is that, am I somewhere?
It's a solvent that's going to mix with the oil and allow the oil to come out of the plant material without destroying the plant material.
Okay.
So after you're done, I mean, if you do an alcohol soap for a month, then yes, it's going to look like trash. But most of the time when I do it, the plant material looks roughly the same when I'm done doing the extraction as it did when I started. And that's the beauty of, like, when I was talking about the hydrocarbon solvents. They're able to really get in there and mix with just the certain components, but leave the rest. Like with a hydrocarbon, you're not going to grab onto as much chlorophyll. It's depending on what temperature you do it at. If you do it at a hotter temperature, it will grab the lipids. But if you do it at a cold temperature, the lipids will actually stay frozen, similar to the water, and it'll end up dropped, and you can end up bypassing it. That's real nice and clean.
And let me just I like that idea. And what I want to ask, and I think this is really important for a lot of people that don't deal in this world. It's a really, really difficult world to get into, but it's not once you go through it in a broad aspect of it. The history of understanding how these elements work, and when you work through them or whatever, it's a past information, right? It's passed down through different people, through different authors, through different everything.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's no universal the electron shells was a universal atomist way to describe it, which would be the Rockefeller way to describe it, right? It's passed along through books and knowledge, and that if you have the right books, you know that this works every time, and that's kind of a rite of passage, right? I mean, as far as like when you learn it, you choose to look at the book. A book was passed, it survived, who knows how many hundreds of years or whatever, but they're out there. It's knowledge. It's knowledge for everyone to understand, right? Am I on the right path there?
Oh, absolutely.
And I want to jump in really quick. It's so fascinating. I remember when I met you, Ben, I was at the Vegas conference a couple years back, and you did a really cool presentation showing all the equipment that you have on your alchemy and extracting kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, but the elixir or tincture or kind of the element that you're going for. Can you explain, maybe just to help people who don't quite follow along, like what are some of your favorite extractions? And I remember you describing that the plants, some of them would come out like neon green, and what do you use them for once you've gotten the element that you want, or what's the best way to explain that?
So the thing that you're primarily making with spagyrics, now a lot of people today will make what they call a tincture, which is what you were talking about there. Now, from my perspective, and this isn't everybody by any means, from my perspective, when I'm looking at it, the oil and the alcohol are the tails and the heads of the same coin. This is the feminine aspect. So I use the alcohol to pull the oil out of the plant, but I would not put the alcohol in my finished product. I'm not a tincture guy. And part of the reason for that is because of metal alchemy. So when let's say I'm getting ready to do alchemy on gold, I would take a mixture of hydrochloric and sulfuric acid and break the gold down. Then you'd put a little bit of hydrogen peroxide in there to oxygenate it, just to keep the action up. But that's going to break it down and put the gold into a liquid solution. At the end of my process, nobody in the world thinks that I should leave hydrochloric nor sulfuric acid in my end product, like especially if that's going to be consumed by a human. Nobody thinks that. So when you look again, this is the as above, so below. When you look then at spagyrics, the alcohol is doing the same job that the acid did in the metal alchemy. So in no way am I going to want to put, in my opinion, alcohol in my end product. And again, I'm actually I don't know anybody else that talks about that like that. What you're really trying to get to in this is called the stone. Okay. The stone of, if we were doing lavender, it would be the stone of lavender. If whatever plant, whatever material we're talking about, it would be the stone of. So if I extract the oil out of the lavender, inside that oil, because that life component I was talking about earlier is not the same as the material itself. Because obviously the life component can change, but upon distillation, I can pull that oil out and that oil is just clear. It's not what is doing that. So what the oil's job is to open up the salt, because at the end of this, I'm going to take that leached salt out of the plant material that I had, because I'm going to take the plant material, I'm going to burn it down to ash. I'm going to mix it with distilled water. Again, the same talk about solvents, only in this case, water is the solvent rather than acid or hydrocarbon gas or something like that. It's just water. Well, you want it to be pure water. The water is going to bond with the salt and dissolve the salt, but it will not dissolve the ash. And so then you leach the salt. You either use a salt leach, which is just taking a string or a cloth and putting it in the water and then letting it drip off over the side into a bucket or something, or you can just filter it until all the ash material is gone. And then you're going to evaporate out the water, and you're going to be left with the salt in the bottom of that. So that salt, you're going to take and you're going to mix that in with the oil, and you're going to put that in a lembic, which is just a jar, just a nice term for a jar, basically. And you're going to cap it. And what that's going to do is allow it to cook, because we're talking about vapors. We don't want the vapors to escape. And what's going to happen is that oil is going to open up the salt and dissolve it. And then that life force that we preserved is now going to go through the oil and embed itself into the salt and enliven the salt. And then the whole thing will coagulate together into what we refer to as the stone. Now, when it's in its original form, the male side, if you take fire to it, which was the salt, that doesn't go anywhere. The fire actually makes the salt come together. When we put fire to oil, oil evaporates, it leaves. And salt is hard and crystalline, and oil is mobile, fluid. Now that we've put those together in what we call the stone and married them, if I apply heat to it, the whole thing will evaporate, including the salt portions of it. They are capable of evaporating now because they've bonded with the other side. And so what you would do with that stone then is either vaporize it and inhale it, if that's what the medical called for. A lot of people are more comfortable with ingesting it. So what you do is just warm it up and then mix it in with any clean carrier oil like butter or coconut oil or something like that. And so now that's going to mix in with that, and you're going to take it in that way. So this stone, which is nothing but like a little hard chunk of pure medicine that was representative of all the good things that was in that whole plant, is now going to be what you're trying to get into your body.
So is that the whole concept then, is creating medicines? And what are you creating? Let's go with what kind of moisturizer do you recommend? I mean, what are you making that people are really gravitating to?
I was wondering what the practical applications were too.
You make medicines with that. My wife makes more of the topical things. She makes actually it's pretty well known in the community. Her comfort cream is. She makes a fantastic comfort cream that takes away swelling and aches and pains and things like that. And she's got a Vapor Soothe, which is similar to what, like a Vicks Vapor Rub, something like that. Only all natural ingredients. And she's got a burn one. It's called Burn Banish. Once again, all natural ingredients. One of my favorites, if you're just asking me for a favorite, is Horsetail. I really like Horsetail, especially in today's world. One of the bigger problems that we have in today's world is metal toxicity, and we're all pretty aware of that there's a heavy metal poisoning in basically everybody, and especially anybody you're talking Alzheimer's, dementia, any of those things, severe cases of toxic metal. And so the thing that helps your body get that out of there is silica, which is one of your 12 cellular salts, the basic cellular components that make up your body. And the highest silica plant that there is horsetail. So if you're taking quite a bit of horsetail, if you've got a real problem with toxic metals, you're going to want to take some of the stone of horsetail, keep that silica flowing through you, keep that metal getting pulled out and processed, and get rid of it. So depending on what type of illness you have, you would basically look at plant medicine and say, I want a much better, stronger version of said plant medicine. Everclear was beer, was just plain old beer or something like that, whatever you would call it, just a basic ferment with almost no alcohol content in it. And then after the process and distillation, now you got Everclear in 2 shots and you're lit to all hell. Same concept. You're getting a much more effective medicine through the process.
Well, let me throw something at you. I shared this on Ironworks or one of the Iron Realm media shows. My ankles have this thing going on where they'll start swelling, and it started from my skateboarding days, but they'll start swelling, then itching, then eventually bleeding. And I've switched doctors and they can't get to the bottom of it. I've got 3 different topical ointments I put on my ankles, and I barely skateboard anymore. I ride my bicycle more than anything, but it comes in waves. Like right now it's not too bad, but they get so bad that I have to wear slip-on shoes and I can't even do laces because they'll just start bleeding. I mean, like I said, I shared it on Ironworks, and I just felt bad for anyone that had a weak stomach when I shared a photo of what starts happening. But it's very, and I don't know if it helps you, but it's very translucid blood too. It's a weird looking
blood.
Well, I mean, it's still blood, but it looks watery,
like more plasma-y.
Yeah. So
interesting.
I need some kind of magical something.
I'll get back to you on that, Rico.
Jamaican.
I'll look things up and I'll get back to you on that, sir.
Okay.
It's so interesting, though. I love this stuff.
I got
it's
this holistic. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Rico.
I was just going to say I switched to this Jamaican holistic doctor, and he can't get to the bottom of it. But go ahead.
Well, just while we have Ben on this, is there kind of a product that is very popular that you make, like something that's overall wellness or health that you recommend? Or is it
I make a gut. I call it gut bomb.
Okay.
And I developed this with John Brisson, the author of Fix Your Gut.
Oh.
And what it is it's honestly more of a tincture, despite me not typically using tinctures. There's not a lot of alcohol in it though. And it's a cocktail that's meant to clear your gut biome out, get your gut biome active. If you haven't had a bowel movement in a minute or have problems with that, it's going to clear you the fuck out. And then every piece of it is meant to activate and balance the different immune systems in your body. So it literally just kicks all your little worker bees into gear and gets everything going. And the whole cocktail is meant to do that. It's similar to like a fire cider, but it's got a lot more medicinal components in it.
That can be found like on your website or something.
We let the website go. Anybody that wants to contact me, just get at me at odinsalchemy@gmail.com or one of the social medias, and I've got a few orders actually right now. I got to get out tomorrow from when I was on Crow. I'm behind on that because holy smoke, the weather just killed us.
Can I ask you a question? I think it's really important, and I've always felt that like the human body is a fabulous piece of technology, and I say this because this goes back to the whole arm spear event in 2020 and everything else. Is that I haven't taken any sort of allopathic medicine since I was in high school, and that was the last time I was sick. And the only times I've had any sort of sicknesses since then have been terrain based. In other words, I had an air conditioner in New York, and we did a dumb thing. We forgot to like close it up, and we turned it on the first of spring when it got hot, and I had a mold event and I had a cough or whatever. But I haven't had the flu, quote unquote, since high school, and I'm curious in my life that, and again, I don't want to say knock on wood because even that can be construed into several different ways, but like I haven't been sick. So, and I feel like the constant poisoning of people, it feels like that what you're doing is you're trying to unpoison or get or correct a body that's already capable of taking care of itself. And you're up to, hey, this could be a little boost here. This could be a little boost here. And this will get you back to where your body already could do it. Because I personally, in my humble opinion, I've always felt that this thing that we walk around in, this little meat suit that we go around in, is fully capable of taking care of itself. And I think if I'm imparting or reading this right with you, and I've watched enough of your things that you're trying to correct it with methods that make a lot of sense. Is that where we're at here?
Absolutely. I'm a big believer. I don't. Like, I know there's a lot of new age things that like where they're taking different, what's that one that's the real hot topic right now? No, not the methylene blue, but that's hilarious. Yeah, that one too. Like it's like nanobodies or some peptides. Peptides is the new big one, and everybody's going on about that's the magic thing. And I'm a big believer that the earth provides you what you need. And sometimes you want it to be a little stronger. Like I said, in some instances you want a purified version. You couldn't eat enough lavender to do what you want it to do out of the stone. But at the end of the day, the natural components on the earth are meant for you, and you're meant to live in symbiosis with them. So I'm also very against anything allopathic. I don't even I do take magnesium supplements because I live on a mountain and I'm constantly walking up and down hills, and I don't get enough magnesium and I'll end up getting cramps. But I don't even take vitamins or supplements. Everything's based off my food.
It's always been fascinating to me, and I think it's a really, really important conversation because you're, stuff that I just, it's above my head, and I'm like, well, we came into this place either not remembering that we chose to come here, or we were sentenced to come into this place to live. And it would be really weird to me if the body that we're walking around in can't handle its surroundings without other people telling you, no, you need to do this to fix it. You need to do this to fix it. And what I'm getting from you is like, and what I've always liked about your stuff is like you're more of a self-correcting guy. You're like, okay, you already had it when you were a kid. If they wouldn't have fucked with you when you were a baby, you'd be just fine right now. But since they did fuck with you, I could show you a way to kind of get yourself back, true north. Am I sort of on track there?
Absolutely. I consider 95% of health problems out there in the world right now to be lifestyle diseases.
Yeah.
Like so you were doing really bad things, putting really bad things in your body, and your body would be good if you would just stop doing that and then put in, because the way I view the components that build your body is like Legos. And you've got this awesome Lego building. And some of these pieces need to be replaced. It's just how things work. They wear out, and your body's meant to do that. But if you only give it Duplos to work with, your body's like, well, I need to fill this spot.
Best metaphor ever. The award for best metaphor of the year goes to Benjamin
Wait, what's a
Balderson.
Duplo?
It's
they're
like
these generic knockoff almost Lego blocks that don't work with Lego.
Yeah, you're
blocks.
trying to
they're
fix it
knockoff.
together, and it just doesn't
They're the
work.
kid version, the baby version of. I think it's Lego brand, isn't it?
Oh, that's the worst when one of those pieces get mixed in with Legos and it doesn't work, and you're like, where the heck did this come from?
Yeah,
And I think it's really important.
It's only got like 6 little things instead of like
Nice.
12.
Okay, yeah, I know what you mean. That's funny.
It's really important, and I think this is gonna land this plane here, Ben. And I've always found your shit fascinating.
Yeah.
Is that the when you're trying to profit off of for those of you, everyone in here obviously knows what allopathic medicine is, but when you're looking to profit off of something that comes out of the ground, which is petroleum based, which is we all know it isn't dinosaurs. We all know what it is. It's coming out of the ground, and if you want to profit on it, and they made a huge market out of it, and it fucked up a lot of people. And I think to really land this plane is what we're trying to do here is with Ben, is basically saying, hey, there's ways to get yourself back to true north with your health, and your body's already going to do most of it, but there are things that you can extract through alchemy. And I'm not even going to use the word chemistry. I mean, it really is just like when you say the stone, I know what you're saying. You're bringing everything down to its purest spot. And then you're going to extract from that and use that in a way that can offset this allopathic invasion that happened since the 40s, and the 50s. And I say that in the last century. And they created a whole market. They created an entire market on this, and that takes it all the way to 2020. And that was we all know that was a fraud. And now we're coming to the point where we do need to understand about alchemy. We need to understand what can get us back at least to a place where who knows how long we're supposed to live. I don't know how long we're supposed to live, but at least you can have a healthy, balanced life. And this is not taking away from trauma medicine. Like you break your leg, you had a doctor. I'm all about it, dude. Doctor, fix my leg. I need heart surgery. I've got something in my heart. Dude, bless your heart, man. I'm so glad that you can fix me. It's a different thing when you talk about allopathic medicine, which has wormed its way into our life. And I think, Ben, if we're talking about it the right way, that you're bringing us back to a place that we can get to, and get our bodies back in the right spot, so we can at least live our lives and enjoy it, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
It's refreshing
Both
to hear
have
because I was somebody who was kind of hooked on supplements. And I think there's a lot of people like, oh, I need to have this, I need to have that. And it's like, totally, if you can get it. So while we have you, just really quick, if you can, you had mentioned citric acid. Do you kind of avoid, or how serious are products that have that? Because it seems they tell us that that's a preservative, but are you saying that it's kind of dangerous for our health?
Yeah, that's definitely not good for you. Not what stuff you're getting from them anyway. Citric acid in and of itself is all right, but in order to provide enough of that for these products, because it's in almost everything out there.
Yeah.
Like you look at anything, it's probably got some citric acid. They're deriving that out of mold, and they aren't even doing it in the same way. And I understand the need for preservation. It's one of those catch-22s. Like myself, I have my own milk cows. If I go down and I milk my cow and I bring the milk up and I strain it out, just basically run it through a cheesecloth or whatever to get any hay or dirt or anything that happens to be present that fell off the udder or whatever. And I stick it immediately in my fridge. In like 4 to 5 days, that milk is pretty tangy. It's definitely not sweet anymore. Because it's live milk, it's got the components in there to break it down quickly. And those components are going to stay in your body and help you break it down. Well, where the problem comes in is the supermarket. So I milk my cow and I put it into storage. Your average dairy farm gets picked up twice a week. So that means either 3 days or 4 days are going by before that milk is picked up and taken to the processing plant. Now it's got to be processed, bottled, and then put into a delivered out to the supermarkets where it's going to sit on a shelf, and it's going to take you a couple days to buy that. And so by the time you get it home and in your fridge, that milk would have been rotten if they hadn't pasteurized it. And so is pasteurized milk good for you? No, it's not. But could you have gotten fresh milk from the supermarket in the way that you just got it? No. You can't. Like, so if you want good milk, you either need to go get your own cows, become part of a co-op where they're people selling fresh milk and whatnot, and you're going to have to be very proactive in that, because now you're going to have to every few days go, oh, well, it's my turn to go get milk, and you have to go out of your way. It's not like going to Walmart where you can get your butt wipe and your Oreo cookies and your milk, and it's going to be a lot.
I use wet wipes.
So here's the $1 million
Hey,
question.
Benjamin, sorry.
I was going to say
real quick before I forget. It's in this podcasting game, things happen, and we definitely understand. But before I forget, can we reschedule and get you on for a full show?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, I'll get back to you.
Yeah, we're really lucky to have you. It's super fun.
Yeah, I'll get with you on Instagram, and we'll just reschedule. I think I've got like 2 more open Sundays before the new year, and I'll look at the schedule and I'll hit you up on Instagram, and we can try it, because I'm grateful you came on at all and shared your time with us. But at the same time, DJ and NBD have their new trivia show starting. So I kind of don't want to.
No problem. You know what? Even if you want to do it next Sunday, I'm going to be much less busy next Sunday. I'll have all this stuff squared away. Whatever you want to do, we will go ahead.
Let me look at the schedule. I think it's just any NDB. He's disposable.
Yeah, and I wanted to say I have to pop off because we're supposed to start our trivia thing, and I don't know if I'll be there every week, but NDB is going to be doing this at some point on the weekend. So if you guys are watching, you want to pop over when this is finished, we'd love to have you. We're going to do 90s sci-fi trivia, kind of in line with the 3-Eye Atlas. Ben, I wish we could spend more time with you, and hopefully, we'll have you back soon. So great to see you. Do you kind of have this like a basic skeleton of like the perfect diet for like your average everyday meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner that you could recommend for people listening?
I really don't, unfortunately, because I'm very much of a mind. As a people, we want to do everything on autopilot anymore, like where we all get it easy. And here's the thing, like I have an A blood type, and A blood types don't have a very acidic stomach. They don't have, their stomach's not real powerful. And so if I eat meat, I actually if I sat down and ate a steak for 4 or 5 days, I would feel like I ate that steak. It's still in my stomach. It's just sitting there rotting, and it would not make me good. Now, on the absolute flip side, my wife, she tried being a vegetarian for like 10 years, and it wrecked her body. She has, like anybody that's met her, the reason that her teeth are like that is because she lost all the calcium in her teeth. At one point in time, her hair was super thin. Her nails were super thin. And I started getting her Wagyu beef because that's got the most fat and nutrients in it.
Oh, Wagyu.
And within a month, her hair was back. Her nails were thick. Her teeth, they're never coming back. They're just screwed. But no matter what you're eating, you gotta. The big thing that's a problem is commercial food. So if you're going and getting commercial food from Walmart or wherever, understand that in order for them to get that to you, it can't be any good. It can't.
Yeah.
Just like I explained with milk, it's not even them being evil. They're like, you want to buy 10-day-old milk? Guess what? It's got to be pasteurized.
Right.
And so you need to stop going for the convenience. You need to go get your best beef. If you're going to eat beef, you're going to get your best beef from a local place that's grass-fed, that's not using the vaccines, things like that. That takes work. You need to go do that. You can't just walk up to Walmart and bull that off the counter. You need to actually go, like there's a guy named Texas Slim that my buddy Steve Poikinen works with. You go call one of those guys. You set up a monthly basket, and you buy your meat all at once a month. Or anybody that's watched my videos, I have a giant extensive garden, and you start growing your own food. Guess what? When I grow my own food, I know damn good and well there wasn't a single herbicide, pesticide, or fungicide put out in that garden. I know that it was alpaca shit that was used for the fertilizer and cow. So that food is going to be nutrient dense, and it's going to be good. So just don't get commercial food.
Well, Ben, we love having you tonight, and we want to have you back for a full segment. And we want to just dig as much out of you as we can, because we're all learning together on all this, just as we have been for as long as we all finally found each other. So we really appreciate you coming on, and
I'll get with you on Instagram.
Yeah, talk to Rico, and let's do a full on, and we'll give you a chance to you can actually do a full presentation and everything else. And I hope this helped a lot of people understand a little bit about alchemy and a little bit about your health and everything else. And Ben, we wish you your best, and we will be talking to you soon, man.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
You got it, man.
Ben, great to see you again.
Yeah.
You hear that, guys?
McDonald's.
Just eating, I guess, organic, healthy.
McDonald's.
I think that makes perfect sense.
Just be
It's kinda
yourself.
nice.
Be yourself, and take care of yourself. Don't don't let somebody else say you need to do something for your health. Just what does your body tell you? To just pay attention to your intuition. But anyway, so everybody jump over to the BST channel after this for trivia. That's bullshit talk with NDB, and
I'll be there tonight.
DJ will be over there. We'll be popping in and out. And thank you for coming to the Sombrero tonight. And like I said, we'll see you allegedly
over
next
there in
time.
10-15 minutes. Okay, bye.
All right, we'll see you
Put
guys
that
soon.
link in chat, DJ.
NDB will.
Love you guys. See you next Sunday.
Love you. See you next Sunday.
Gas station woman says she'll stay in Arkansas forever. River is near with all the folks floating down. Canoe man with the rabbit-eared radio making sounds. Radio man says the election's finally over. Fireworks in the sky and some hope has caught your eye. Locals don't seem to mind if you saddle up for drinks at the tavern. And you talk about how everything suddenly matters. And there's a river near with the fires going in the night. Fires going in the night. But I beg your pardon. What's that you say? What's that you say? What's that you say? Did you say nothing you do matters anyway? What are you so scared of? Yeah. So you got lots of issues that are serving you a frown. You need to get a drink, you think that will calm you down. Can't sleep by the fire cause the world is full of lies. So you watch the bulbs spend the nights orbiting the street lights. Simple pleasures I'm sure could bring you safely home. You could cast your boat to the wind, cause in the end we're all alone. But those faces by the firelight tell you dirty jokes to keep you sane. And you laugh cause it's what you got. It's what you got to keep you satisfied. you satisfied. And I'm glad you said what you said. You had to get it out, you had to get it out, get it out. It was cramping your style by keeping it to yourself. Now go and tell everyone else. Go and tell everyone else. Go and tell everyone else. Cause the world needs your help.